Divine Grace, ISKCON Founder Child, Srila Abhachan Bhakti Vedanta Swami Papa Maharaj ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavini ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Si Kahau Si Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Si Advaita Gadadhar Si Vasadi Si Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Si Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Syama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Si Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Si Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki jai. Si Jagannathpuri Dham ki jai. Ganga Maya Yamuna Maya ki jai. Srimati Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi ki jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to Sisi Gauranga Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram cheva narottamam devim saraswati vyaccha tato jaya mudhirayet nastrapaye svabhadresu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhakti bhavaiti naistiki. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 10. Title of this chapter is The Pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. Text 16. Badho dabdho raghupati vivigdadri kute. Setum kapindra karakampi tabuhurange. Sugriva nila hanumat pramukhe anike. Lakam vibhishana disavis sadagratabdam. Can someone try? Ladies, Matajis, anyone to try? All right, word for word translation. Then translation and purport by His Divine Grace is confined to Charity, Srila Bhakti Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Badhva, after constructing. O Dadha, in the water of the ocean. Raghupati, Lord Ramachandra. Vivida, varieties of. Adrikute, with peaks of great mountains. Setum, a bridge. Kapindra, of powerful monkeys. Karakampita, moved by the great hands. Buru Hanumat, Buruhange, with the trees and plants. Sugriva, Nila, Hanumat, Hanuman. Pramukhe, led by. Anike, with such soldiers. Lanka, the kingdom of Ravana. Vibhishana Drisha, by the direction of Vibhishana, the brother of Ravana. Avisat, entered. Agradabdam, which was previously burnt by the monkey soldier Hanuman. So translation, Sukadeva Goswami said, after constructing a bridge over the ocean by throwing into the water the peaks of mountains, whose trees and other vegetation had been shaken by the hands of great monkeys, Lord Ramachandra went to Lanka to release Sita Devi from the clutches of Ravana. With the direction and help of Vibhisana, Ravana's brother, the Lord, along with the monkey soldiers, headed by Sugriva, Nila, and Hanuman, entered Ravana's kingdom, Lanka, which had previously been burnt by Hanuman. Please kindly responsibly repeat. Sukadeva Goswami said, after constructing a bridge over the ocean by throwing into the river the peaks of mountains, whose trees and other vegetation had been shaken by the hands of great monkeys, Lord Ramachandra went to Lanka to release Sita Devi from the clutches of Ravana. With the direction and help of Vibhisana, Ravana's brother, the Lord, along with the monkey soldiers, headed by Sugriva, Nila, and Hanuman, entered Ravana's kingdom, Lanka, which had previously been burned by Hanuman. Purport. Great mountain peaks covered with trees and plants were thrown into the sea by the monkey soldiers and began to float by the supreme will of the Lord. By the supreme will of the Lord, many great planets float weightlessly in space like swabs of cotton. If this is possible, why should great mountain peaks not be able to float on water? This is the omnipotence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can do anything and everything he likes because he is not under the control of the material nature. Indeed, material nature is controlled by him. Maya dikshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Only under his direction does prakriti or material nature work. Similar information is given in the Brahma Samhita 552. Yasya gyaya brahmati sambrita kala chakro govindam adipurusam tamaham bhajami. Describing how material nature works, the Brahma Samhita says that the sun moves as desired by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, for Lord Ramachandra to construct a bridge over the Indian Ocean with the help of monkey soldiers who threw great mountain peaks into the water is not at all wonderful. It is wonderful only if the sense that it is wonderful only in the sense that it has kept the name and fame of Lord Ramachandra eternally celebrated. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyana Jana Salakaya Saksur Rodmilitam Jena Tasmai Sigurabhe Namaha Suchaitanya Manobistam Staffitam Jena Bhutali Swayam Rupam Kadamaya Dadati Swa Padantikam Vancha kalpataribhya cha kripa sundabhya evacha patitanam pavanabhya vaishnavabhya namo namah. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pasatya Disatari. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Si Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Sigora Bhaktabinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, we'd like to welcome all of you to this Bhagavatam class this morning here in the Juhu temple. This is a project that all over the world people have read about it. Those who have read it, Prabhupada's Lilamrita, and they understood how Prabhupada faced a lot of challenges in setting up this project. So, you are all lucky to be here. This is one of the primary projects of Srila Prabhupada in India. And sometimes you need to read, you need to go back to the books to read so that you can understand the difficulties in setting up this place. This Prabhupada told us. It was very challenging even to the founder Acharya himself. So count yourself as great fortunate souls to be here to be able to learn the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. So in this text, basically a number of things are mentioned here, but the essential ingredient, the key point is the rescue of Mother Sita. A lot of things went on. Hanuman went to Lanka earlier to search out where Sita was. And then he got arrested. They tried to burn him by trying to burn his tail first, but they ended up setting the whole of Lanka ablaze. And then
Lord Ramachandra himself has to come. So in this text we're hearing how a bridge was built on water with mountains. In other words, with heavy stones. So normally we understand that there is the force of gravity. If you put something in water, it will sink. That's due to the force of gravity. But who is the source of the force of gravity? So this is the difference between the laws made by man and the laws made by Krishna. Krishna's laws don't rule over him. He rules over those laws. If the legislators in India make laws, they are also bound by those laws. But the force of gravity is Krishna's principle, Krishna's law. But he does not succumb to those laws. And so, Ramachandra has to build a bridge across the Indian Ocean with stones, mountains. So Prabhupada mentions in the purport that this is not amazing. The only amazing thing is the celebration, the remembrance of this very event that accounts of Lord Ramachandra's pastimes. Otherwise, Prabhupada gives the example. He rationalized his statement by referring to the galaxies that are floating in space. Krishna made universes to float in space. We can correlate the weight of a universe to the weight of a mountain on the earth planet. So Krishna is able to put that floating. So what about mountain? What is it? And those galaxies are floating in space. There is some gross element even there. Water. Water is also a gross element. Keep in mind. Bhumi, Apa, Nala, Vayu. They are all gross elements. Vayu. So, if Krishna is able to float universes aerially in space, what's the difficulty in floating a mountain on the gross element? Floating one gross element, putting one gross element on another gross element. That is nothing. So, all of these activities, setting up of a bridge on water across the Indian Ocean, to be able to enable Lord Ramachandra and his retinue to cross over to Lanka, to execute his duty of rescuing Mother Sita. So the significant point here is that all of these efforts, you see, when things are done, the point is we have to figure out what is the purpose. You are doing this. What is the purpose? What's your goal? And basically, the goal here is very operational. It's an operational goal. It's something that is being done now to achieve an objective or to achieve an end. That is operational. When you are strategizing something you want to do in the future, that is called a strategic plan. But this is an operational plan. Operation is going on. The whole of these operations is to be able to rescue Mother Sita. And so, we should think about it. We should think about the importance of women in the universe, in our devotional culture. Think about it. Protection of women. So these statements are not just there in the scripture. The Lord is demonstrating by his own very example. And that marks of ethical leadership. When Krishna mentions in the Gita that the leader is the one who goes the way and shows the way, who does something so that other people will emulate him. That is a model of leadership called ethical leadership. Leadership, there are so many models of leadership. There are classical leadership models, there are contemporary leadership models. But ethical leadership model is seen as a contemporary leadership model. But no, it is a classical leadership model, because Krishna mentions about ethical leadership over 5,000 years ago. Why are the modern management scientists saying that ethical leadership is a contemporary leadership model? Because they don't have information about the Vedic tradition. They are not Vaishnava philosophers. So just see a great fortune. You know more than the management scientists, people who pose around as, management scientists. They talk about leadership, but then they miss cue. So Papa also mentioned in the purport that even the sun rises. And the Brahma Samhita has mentioned, the sun rises, does its work perfectly well, just to please Krishna. So if we are doing something, again, we have to ask ourselves, to please who? The musicians, they sing songs to praise some conditioned souls, to please them. But we sing songs, we sing the bhajans to please Lord Ramachandra, to please Lord Krishna. So that's the difference between the devotee and the non-devotee. Everything that the devotee does is to please the Lord. We will try to please someone. Pleasing someone is a constant. The variable is the object of the recipient of that pleasing. You understand the point? We must work to please somebody. So the non-devotees, they're working so hard to please other mundane roamers who will soon meet up with Yamaraj. But then, the devotees of Lord Krishna, we also work so hard to please Lord Krishna. Like Hanuman, Nila, they headed the team of the monkeys. But they worked so hard to please Lord Ramachandra, to assist Lord Ramachandra in achieving his goal to rescue Sita. This brings to mind the case of Garuda. Garuda also wanted to rescue his mother from entanglement of his aunt. The mother of Garuda and her sister, they went into some type of some betting, and then his sister won, and so Garuda's mother became like a maid servant to the sister. And so when Garuda was born, and then he saw that his mother was a maid servant to his aunt, he worked so desperately to release his mother from that bondage. And he did. He risked his own life. So one may wonder, So what are all these devotees doing? Are they also working so hard to rescue their mothers? Yes, when once someone becomes a pure soul, not only does he release or she release the mother from bondage of material existence, but generations of generations in a family benefit from one single person's austerities in Krishna consciousness, one single person's service to Lord Krishna. Generations of generations, over 10 generations benefit in the family. So what type of job that you are going to do that would benefit even 2 generations in your family? Even just 1 generation in your family? No. Even your immediate parents, you can't please them. I remember in Michigan, in the U.S., I have a friend. So when I was traveling, I left the U.S., I was traveling. I was in Africa. And then I just called him back. He's a young boy. He just finished his master's and he was working. So I just called him and I spoke to him. I said I wanted to find out how he was doing. So he was very surprised how someone could call him out of the U.S. and in another continent, just calling him to find out how he was doing. So he said, even my parents never do this to me. They only call me, I need money. So the point is that there's a great boon, great benefit of becoming a Krishna Bhakta, servant of Lord Krishna, becoming engaged in devotional service. You are able to rescue not only a mother, but several generations in the family. So, Garuda did it. He released his mother, he rescued his mother from the bondage to the mother's sister. The whole idea of the Vedic culture is set up in such a way that the women are to be protected. That's the good example that Lord Ramachandra himself is setting. Now, another important factor here in this thesis, in this narratology here, very vivid descriptions, is that Lord Ramachandra, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And at that time, he was acting as the king. But he went to the war front himself. You know, these days, the modern presidents of countries, they just send soldiers to go to the war front, fight and die. They go to ignite a fight. They go to initiate a fight, a war. They never go to the war front to fight. They never go to the war front to fight. So, if you correlate that to the Vedic system, you see that the modern system of so-called Kshatriyas, they are not Kshatriyas because they don't have that spirit of fighting. They're business people. They want money. So we see the case of Lord Ramachandra setting a very good standard for us. So he went to the war front, and just by his presence, all of these soldiers, the monkeys, they were so enthused. They worked so dexterously to be able to assist Lord Ramachandra to attain his goal. So it is important for us to understand that as servants of Srila Prabhupada or grand disciples of Srila Prabhupada, or disciples of Prabhupada, we have to be able to be constantly aware that even Srila Prabhupada, he embarked on serving the devotees who came to him. Remember the case in New York? So when he came, he met all these potheads, hippies, bums. And they came around to listen to his lectures, Bhagavad Gita lectures at 26 Second Avenue. Some of them were dead drunk. And after the class, he would cut some apples and, give to everybody there. So when people talk about service, look at how Lord Ramachandra is doing service to his own kingdom. He's directly involved in the service. Why couldn't he just ask soldiers to go, hey, go and rescue my Sita here? No, he went to the war himself, to the war front himself. And he was successful. How could he not be successful when he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So, material nature works in amazing ways, but that also implies that Krishna works in amazing ways. Because material nature, whose nature? Krishna's material nature. And so if we understand that, there's nothing that is really impossible. In fact, Prabhupada mentioned that the word impossibility is only found in the Fool's Dictionary. So we may think about our challenges, our difficulties, but think about what Lord Ram can do for us. So he created a bridge. We have to create our own bridges. We have to create our own bridges to link up with the non-devotees to be able to rescue them, to help them. Everyone is in bondage. Everybody out there is in bondage. So just like Lord Ramachandra himself, he went on to be able to rescue Sita. We should try. That is the very essence of preaching. Because everyone is in bondage, it means suffering. A life of circumscription. A life where people are so much circumscribed. There's so much. People create unnecessary limitations. They add up to the limit, to the already existing limitations of the conditioned soul. And so we have to crack our heads, crack our brains to see how we are helping out Lord Ramachandra in creating bridges to catch up with the rescue team of getting all of these conditioned souls to bring them back to the lotus feet of Sri Radha Rasa Bihari. This place is very big. Don't just sit down here and enjoy the facility. A soldier, you have signed up to become a soldier of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And soldiers, the glories of the soldiers is to go to the war front to fight. And what's our war front? Preaching the message of Godhead. Creating bridges. Thinking of avenues to reach out to the conditioned soul, to lure them to be able to come to the lotus of Lord Sri Radha Rasa Bihari. So you have a big challenge here. So Vibhishan, he was a brother of Ravana. So we find that even in the family of demons, you find one great devotee, like the case of Prahlad. So we can't just say, you see, this is why we cannot generalize, because somebody is bad and then we say, oh, the whole family is bad. Ravana was bad, But, his brother was a Parker devotee of Lord Ramachandra. And therefore, just one single person can save the whole family. So here, you may not have many people from your family who come to be involved in devotional service or dedicating their lives to Krishna, to the service of Prabhupada. But just think about it. I remember, sometimes people ask me, do you meet your parents? How often do you meet your parents? So my response to them is that if I become a pure soul, not only will my immediate parents benefit, but generations and generations in their families will benefit. Yeah, it's just logical. So, the Bhisan did a good job. He was giving directives what routes to take to be able to attain Lord Ramachandra's goal. Can you imagine? Your brother is fighting against you. He's joined other parties. But this is the nature of the material world. The demons, they want everyone in the family to, be by them to fight the devotees. But then you find, like the case of Prahlad, he was fighting his own father. Oh yeah? So, let's not forget the point that the main goal of Lord Ramachandra's adventure here with all of his retinue is the rescue of Mother Sita. So we should think about how we are helping out to rescue conditioned souls, especially giving protection to women and children. It's so tempting that one is putting on a saffron cloth and he just literally would be despicable towards women. I've seen this in our movement. I remember one time I was in Mayapur, and then there were all these young brahmacharis. They were serving charamita. The place for women is another place. But then these elderly, like their maybe they're like great grandmothers or great grandmothers. Yeah, not just grandmothers, the really elderly ladies. They came and then they were wandering charamita, and I saw this young brahmachari. He was harassing them. Go the other way, shouting. So I said, hey, this one is not going to make you fall down. This is an old woman. So we should be compassionate and work towards helping Lord Ramachandra. Ramachandra was going for the rescue of a female. We should think, when we encounter anyone, what is our proactive step towards helping that person to become free from the clutches of material existence? Sita was under the clutches of Ravana, but everyone else is under the clutches of material existence, under the clutches of the modes of material nature, ignorance and passion. And therefore it is important for us to apply what we are hearing to our everyday reality. Otherwise it just becomes like repeating some stories. Is purifying, yes, but what is the application to our everyday reality? Not even a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Lord. So we should try to be instrumental to achieving the goal of Srila Prabhupada, achieving the goal of Lord Ramachandra, achieving the goal of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And therefore we have to work together to be able to achieve that goal. Like the monkeys, they joined hands with Lord Ramachandra to achieve the goal. It is very easy for us to achieve the goal when we work together. Another point. Lord Ramachandra would have just could just decide to do everything by himself. But no, he has a team spirit. It's called, what do you call it? It's a terminology, can't remember. Synergy. Have you heard of synergy? When people come together, the result is always greater than individuals doing that same thing separately and bringing the results of the individuals together. That's the principle of synergy. That it's based on the principle of synergy that Lord Chaitanya encouraged congregational chanting. Because when we come together to chant congregationally, the results, the effect of the result is greater than a single person doing it and bringing all of the single person's effects together. So it's a science. Sometimes we do a lot of things, but we don't know that they are actually very scientific. So Lord Ramachandra, he gathered all of these monkeys, all of these great warriors to help, to be able to work as a team. We can't say, well, I know everything. No one knows everything. So yeah, let's be proper associates of Lord Ramachandra, work as a team to be able to help in protecting women and children, help in creating an avenue where people can participate in Krishna consciousness, and help in supporting each other. You're living in the ashram. You have to ask yourself, who is part of my team? Lord Ramachandra has his team. Who is your friend in the ashram? Whom do you have as a friend in the ashram that you have a real problem that you can discuss with confidentially? And I met one brahmachari, who was formerly a brahmachari, and that was in the West Coast in America. I was traveling the West Coast, and then after the class, I went to this city. So after some programs, I was discussing with individuals one by one, and then this young man, white devotee. So I was discussing with him, and he told me, he was living at the Bhakti Center, one of Radhanath's ashram there. So he said he left the ashram as a brahmachari. He left the ashram. He moved out because he had no friend. He was feeling lonely. Yes, so I'm talking out of lived experience. Those living in the ashram, a team spirit has to be there. Otherwise, you get frustrated and get fried at a particular time. So Lord Ram, he had his team. We should think and reflect on that. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions? In the absence of any comments or questions, we'd like to adjourn this meeting. All right? Yes.
What Prabhupada speaks about the compassion on women?
Huh?
What Prabhupada speaks about compassion on women? Woman.
Compassion on women? Oh, basically, if you read the Bhagavatam purpose, he stressed on how we should care for women and children. Because, we were giving, women gave birth to us, isn't it? Is there anybody here who break out from the world like Lord Shingadev? We are all born by women. I repeat, is there anybody who just came into this world through cracking out from a wall? We were born by women, is it not? So, Prabhupada wanted that we should treat the women like we treat our mother. That's why we call them Mataji or Mother Days. What does that mean to us? Mother. Mother Jadurani. Mother Govinda Dasi. Mother now. How do you treat your mother? Yeah? See, if we treat women nicely, we treat all women like we treat our mother, we care for them, love them like the way we will do for our mother, our society will blossom more than what we are experiencing. Yeah. You ask a nice question. You see, Prabhupada, he had a sister. Okay? And even when he had all of these disciples who came from America with him, he will allow the sister to come and do some service. He could say, well, look, I'm a Swami, I'm an international figure now. Hey. Compassion. The point is that it is difficult for us because we are seeing people based on the body. We are not seeing people based on the fact that Lord Krishna is in the heart of each and every one. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Redise Arjuna Tistati. Krishna also mentions in the Gita, Mama evam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Aren't women part and parcel of Krishna? If you have a daughter, or if you have a daughter, will you throw that daughter away because it's a woman? Look, Radharani, is she a man? Radharani. Srimati Radharani is a woman. She is the mother of devotion. You can't go to Krishna except you please her. So women have a very prominent position in our own devotional culture and even in the whole universe. Look, the minister, the universal minister for education is a woman. The person in charge of education in the whole universe is a woman. The president of this planet, not India, I mean the planet, the whole planet, America, Africa, Europe, Asia. The president is a woman. What's her name? What? No. Mother Bhumi. Mother Bhumi is the president of this planet. It's a woman. If you look at, the whole planet is ruled by a woman. Think about it. And nobody told you this before, right? Yeah, so Papa wanted us to treat women with care and concern because they are a weaker sex. And the women, if they want to do something, they can do it so dedicatedly. Oh yeah, they're very tolerant, but don't abuse them because they are tolerant. Look at what Ram is passing through. He has to get himself to go to the war front to fight for the sake of protecting the women folk. So, we should be kind. The bottom line is that we should treat women. Prabhupada wanted us to treat women the way we would treat our mothers. That is why he initiated this idea of calling the women mother this, mother that. Simple and short. Look at women as part and parcel of Krishna. Don't look at the body. If you look at the body, you're in trouble. Just like the same thing with the women. If you look at the body of the men, you only perceive attraction. That's it. So it's a culture of mind shift from the traditional system of seeing people based on the bodies. You have to get into a shift of consciousness by aligning with the teachings of the Gita. So bottom line is that Prabhupada wanted us to treat women as mothers, as our mothers. How do we treat our mothers? We care for them. We provide for them first. Isn't it? Would you like anyone to come and insult your mother? No. So we should see our female devotees in that light, and every woman in that light. Does it make some sense? Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for your very enlivening and inspirational, especially you were mentioning about enthusiasm with respect to this today's verse, that how Lord Ramchandra, he took this team spirit and everyone was following him.
Yeah.
So when we go out for preaching, well, for distributing books, so how much efforts we can put in terms of trying to bring people closer to Krishna, as you were mentioning, that we should try our level best. So how much efforts we may think that, okay, I'll try once, twice, and then leave it up to Prabhupada, because these are Prabhupada books. Let Prabhupada preach him, and then only he will take these books.
Yes.
I know. So how much efforts, the kind of inspiration that you are giving to us, at how we should go ahead and bring the people to closer to Krishna.
That's a good point. What effort can we put in? Yes, sometimes even just 1 minute dedicated effort, qualitative effort, can change someone's mindset. We don't need hours. First of all is the mindset, our mindset. When we're talking to someone, are we just trying to sell him, get some money from him? Or we're trying to help them? So I remember when we joined, we were trained that if you meet someone, first thing is to pray to the super soul in his heart to be able to help him to align with what you have to tell him. Sankirtan is a whole system. It's an art of prayers and dedication. Because it's different from the salesman who goes about trying to sell his goods. Here you are trying to distribute the Lord's mercy. So, the consciousness of the devotee is what really matters. When we are going out, we should know we are on a mission. We are missionaries. We are not salespersons. We are not marketers. We are missionaries. We are initiating a change, and we want that change to be sustainable. See, 75% of all change initiatives fail. Only 25% of change initiatives get to the end. So to preach means you are initiating a change on the planet. So try to understand what you're doing. So you have to have a consciousness, constantly praying to your spiritual master, constantly praying to Prabhupada to help you sustain the change that you are initiating. So even 1 minute you spend with somebody could change that person. It all depends on the type of energy you're radiating. Yeah. If we look at preaching as worship, then we should rededicate and redefine the concept of book distribution. Yeah. You see, a number of us come to this movement because we got books from some devotees. I met devotees on the street. I got 2 small books. I went back to my house. Over the night, I didn't sleep the whole night. I just read and finished reading. And I traced them. I traced them to the temple. So you think someone sells some mystical books on the road? Then no, it wouldn't have influenced me to go and read overnight without sleeping. If even you want to get the highest grade in college, you don't go and read the books overnight without sleeping. Do you do that? No. So the consciousness of the person who distributed those books had an effect on me. Then it creates an enthusiasm to be able to scoop out everything that was there on the spot. So we should have a positive mindset of proper consciousness, because we are carrying his energy out there. We are distributing his books, means we are helping him. Like the monkeys were helping Ramachandra. So they were conscious of Ramachandra. So we should be conscious of Prabhupada. We should be conscious of our spiritual master when we are going out for book distribution. It is not a business of selling books. It's a business of trying to change people through these literatures. Changing people, not just changing people, positive spiritual change. It makes some sense? All right. So we'll stop there. Srila Prabhupada ki.